I run a small nonprofit where I'm the only donor, and the idea is rather than ask people for money for the end of, for the rest of my life, to put the nonprofit money in an investment. And then when I retire, there will be a good amount of money to do good in the world. It's a worthy retirement. So this is Happiness Data's investment portfolio, which I've got in Etrade. Now, here's an issue that affects everyone, in this case, a nonprofit. And it has to do with margin. Now, if we look at, let's look at Tesla. Let's look at year to date. So you can see that Tesla is on a downswing in the last month or so. I don't think we can, let's see if we can move that down. So yes, in the month of October, Tesla has dropped from 303 roughly down to 220. So it's about 26% drop over the last month. Now, one of the things that I like about being investing as a nonprofit is investing in things that I believe in. Now, a month ago, this was in the green. In fact, all of these were in the green. And so, we had, I think, an 18% profit on Tesla because we had paid, 200 and something, 270, whatever, and it was up at 310, 320. So we had a green. I think we had like 15% profit on Tesla. We had 18% profit on Costco, etc. Now, at the same time, I had around $170,000 in margin purchasing power. And Tesla has, and I had around 70,000 in margin debt. So I've added $60,000 of margin debt in this period. And I've put in $60,000. No, I've put in $26,000 more money. But what's happened is that while Tesla has gone down about 30%, 20, 25%, something like that, that's a 25% drop. And Etrade was happy to loan me money to buy Tesla when it was high. So when Tesla was $370, Etrade would love to loan me money at, I would only have to put down 40%, and Etrade would loan me 60%, right? So Etrade is happy to loan me money if we turn this into BMWs. If a BMW is selling for $25,000 on the used market, let's say, Etrade is happy to let me buy 10 BMWs for the price of 4, and it'll loan me the money for the rest. But now BMWs are 30% cheaper. And what Etrade is saying is, we don't want to loan you 6 BMWs for every 4 that you buy. We're only going to loan you 30%. So we're only going to loan you 3 BMWs for every 10 that you buy. So Etrade has increased the volatility by double, because it's gone from a 60%, from a 60% quotient to buy Tesla down to a 30%. So what does this mean? It means that my volatility in Tesla, rather than being 27% in a month, is 60% in a month, literally, right? Because Etrade has started asking for margin calls. Now, this is, of course, absurd, right? Why would you get a margin call if your net value is $218,000, right? Nowhere near, right? So Etrade is safe, but Etrade is over, because this isn't just me, and this is why I'm making this video. Millions and millions of people using Etrade and buying Tesla and using Etrade's margin, right, which they tempt you with, right? And this is the bit that seems destructive and needs to be highlighted for Etrade's customers. Etrade can call its debt, basically, is a good way of looking at it, at 24 hours notice. So it's like a car loan with a bank that can ask you to repay the car loan with 24 hours notice. And it does this in margin calls. Now, if you want to make money loaning money, and you can loan money to someone who's buying BMWs for $10,000 a piece, or you can loan money to someone who's buying BMWs at $7,000 a piece. If you're a smart lender, you want to loan money to someone who's buying BMWs at $7,000 a piece, right? Because you're buying the company at a 30% discount relative to $10,000 a piece. But Etrade's got this backwards. Etrade wants to loan money to someone who's buying $12,000 BMWs, $15,000 BMWs, but not 7,000 BMWs, right? It wants to loan to buy the expensive, overpriced car, not the cheap car. Now, fear and greed are the dominant energies that dictate most investing decisions. Now, what that means is that people get scared when the stock goes down and they sell, and then they buy when it goes up because they're greedy. Well, Etrade's margin protocols double that volatility. Etrade wants to give you lots of money when it's going up, right, to feed the greed, which is destructive. That leads to bubbles and pops. But then it wants to take your money when it goes down so that you have a constriction and force selling. That escalates fear. So Etrade, as they currently stand, are increasing the volatility in the market. And here's how it works. So Tesla goes down 30%, and Etrade reduces its margin by 50%, right? Because Etrade was loaning $6 on every 4. Now it's loaning $3 on every 10. It's reducing, it's constricting the market, right? So that's a 60% volatility because I've got to come up with 60% more money to maintain margin, right? So, we see 11,000 marginable purchasing power here. This was up at 170, 180 earlier in the month, when Tesla was just up to 300, right? And so, and it's not a big loss, 44,000 on 333, and under the in this situation. And it's the best price that I'm probably ever going to be able to buy Tesla at. If I could buy more at 221, it's lower than my basis. This company is worth more now than it was a month ago. It's worth more than it was a year ago, right, when it was up higher than this, right? This is a terrific, a terrific opportunity for buying, and that's the very point that you can't do it. Now, if E-Trade was to reverse this policy, right, and when stock prices and the market went down, they made more money available. And when it went up, they made less money available. What E-Trade would be doing is providing stability in the volatile market and balancing out this greed-fear dynamic, which is not good for the market or for most people. But that's not what E-Trade's doing. It's squeezing capital and asking you to sell, because when the stock goes down and E-Trade reduces your buying power by 30% in just a few days, E-Trade will send out these emails. They'll say your margin ratio has changed. It was 60%, now it's 50%. That means you just lost 10% of your buying power, right when you need it, right? And then it'll send another email the next day and say, nope, it's changed again. Well, it's now 40%. And then another email, 1-2 days later, it's now 30%. So E-Trade has contracted purchasing power by 30% in a week, while Tesla is going down 20% in the week, right? And that's, so if you want to meet the margin call, you either have to come up, as I did, with tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands if your account is bigger, or you have to increase volatility. You have to sell the stock that's already going down. And what do you think makes the stock go down? Selling it. So if E-Trade has its way, the stock goes down 20%, E-Trade gives a 30% additional margin call. So millions of people sell the stock so that it goes down another 10%. And then E-Trade issues another margin call. People sell the stock, and E-Trade is driving. It's driving its investors into poverty if they sell. You don't sell low. You buy low and you sell high. So E-Trade is destroying the wealth of its customers and adding volatility to the market at the same time while going against its own interests. Because if E-Trade is doing its job, it's evaluating the stocks that it's lending on. It's not just some vague thing where it's just, and E-Trade will loan on any bubble out there. E-Trade should have some understanding of the actual value of the stocks it's loaning money to purchase. And Tesla's gone up in value in fundamentals, right? The Tesla bot was introduced this month. Self-driving has improved in several iterations this month. Right? It's cut billions of dollars over the next few years in sensor costs, right? Those are the fundamentals. But E-Trade's not loaning to buy a better company at a lower price. It's loaning to buy a more expensive company, regardless of its underlying value. So this is something I think that could use some attention.